and welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video going to be a wee quick post-match review of the 2-1 win over Kilmarnock yesterday evening in the Scottish Cup through to the next round. We won in the end by 2-1, and I think it could easily and should easily have been 6-1 or even more, given the number of really pretty easy chances we missed, particularly in the first half and late in the game when we'd managed to get ahead eventually against a Kilmarnock team who were well organised, fought very hard, but in the end, Celtic's quality and depth of squad won out in the end. Today's video, we're going to have a wee look at the goals, some of the incidents, quick look at the stats, showing again how dominant Celtic were in the end, even though Kilmarnock kept themselves in the game for a good 75 minutes of the game, and also my own personal ratings of the players. And I think two players in particular had good games, and one player had returned to form, and I was very pleased to see Brendan Rodgers showing loyalty in him. Just having a look at yesterday's game, thought Celtic did start really well, got themselves nicely on top, although having said that, Kilmarnock did manage to rattle the bar. Nice save by Kasper Schmeichel tipping it onto the bar. Straight away from that, we got the breakaway, and Dyson Maida really should have scored when set up by Nicholas Kuhn, and actually if Nicholas Kuhn was better using his right foot, it was all set up for him to use Maida as a dummy and get the shot on goal himself. However, we managed to avoid scoring at that point. However, shortly after, Callum McGregor, brilliant bit of setup on the edge of the box, got himself space, and a brilliant shot, unsavable into the bottom corner for the replacement goalkeeper, who'd had to come on after around a minute when McCrory, the original Kilmarnock goalkeeper, went off with what looks like a broken cheekbone and may well also have damaged his eye muscles. Can be quite a nasty injury. Completely accidental. He and Kuhn both going for the same ball. McCrory diving at Kuhn's feet and Kuhn's knee hitting McCrory in the face as McCrory basically took him out in the box. Celtic very much kept on top, having gone 1-0 up. We missed some pretty easy chances. Kyogo clean through on goal. Only the goalie to beat managed to hit it past the post. I think he was just going for slightly too perfect. I think anything a couple of yards inside the post would have been fine. However, he was trying to hit right in the opposite corner. We then had brilliant cross across the 6-yard box. Rio Hatate 5 yards out, somehow managed to sky the ball over the crossbar with, in essence, an open goal. Kyogo again getting in behind the Kilmarnock defence, and rather than going for a left-footed shot himself, decided to square the ball to Nicholas Kuhn, who was just a wee bit on his heels and not quite quick enough, and Kilmarnock scrambled the ball clear. And as was the case against Dundee on Tuesday past, when Celtic massively dominated the first half and had tons of chances to go 2-3-4 up. This game was much the same. Kilmarnock managed to get the ball into the Celtic box. Ball went across the Celtic box, hit Dees, the Kilmarnock defender, on the elbow and arm, deflected perfectly into the path of an unmarked Wales at the back post, who managed to beat Kasper Schmeichel. Pretty much point blank range, so no real chance for Schmeichel to save the shot. To be honest, I thought that there was a degree of deliberateness with Dees turning his arm and body slightly so that the deflection would go off him straight to Wales. It didn't look like your usual accidental, you're looking one way and the ball hits you on the arm when you're doing your best to get your arm out of the way. It did feel as if Dees kind of used his arm and body to pass the ball to Dees. However, the referee on the pitch, Nick Walsh, and the VAR referee did not think this was a handball and thus disallowed goal, and Kilmarnock did go into half-time 1-1. Strangely enough, I've seen goals disallowed watching games from Europe and from England, where a similar handball by a teammate has led to the goal being disallowed, even though it wasn't them that scored. Celtic came out second half, again, very much on top. Kilmarnock managing a wee bit of action in and around the Celtic half. Kilmarnock did get a wee bit of pressure on Celtic, particularly when they were getting long throws and long balls into the box. However, Austin Trusty, defending very well, was taken out by Watkins, the Kilmarnock centre forward. Clearly, as a foul on Trusty, he was the one nearer the ball. He was the one who got his body in the way of Watkins, and Watkins pushed him over and used his arm and elbow to throw him to the ground. Watkins, as would be expected, as he always does, as many centre forwards would do in that situation, jumped up pleading for a free kick. The assistant referee, who was just a yard or two away from it on the touchline, correctly waved his flag. Nick Walsh gives the free kick. Celtic very cleverly free kick quickly out to the wing. Nicholas Kuhn, nice run in towards the box, and a good pass across the box to a completely unmarked open Dyson Maida, who very calmly slotted it past the advancing goalkeeper. 2-1 up. Celtic had a couple of nice wee chances later on. We had a breakaway from our edge of our own box, principally Adam Ida running from one box edge to the other box edge. He could have passed to his left, he could have passed to his right, he could have kept on going himself, but he chose the pass to his right to Nicholas Kuhn, who hit a good shot, probably should have scored as well, but a nice save by the Kilmarnock goalkeeper. The ball went out for what should have been a corner, but unbelievably, the referee gave it as a by kick, and Kilmarnock were able to get back into try to draw that goal back. They did have one shot on goal late on that Kasper Schmeichel saved very well. Celtic, of course, also in the second half managed to have a great shot by Nicholas Kuhn that hit the bar. A ball rebounded to Rio Hatate, who hit an excellent shot that was net bound for the top right-hand corner. However, the replacement Kilmarnock goalkeeper made a brilliant save. We also had a goal disallowed when Dyson Maida popped away a chance after a wee bit of a goal-mouth scramble. Looked like Adam Ida might have been offside in the lead-up. However, when they put the lines on the screen, Maida was offside by a few centimetres, and so the goal clearly disallowed. Kilmarnock didn't really do very much after that single shot late on that Kasper Schmeichel saved after the long throw, and Celtic in the end won comfortably. 2-1 win, through to the next round of the Cup. 2-1 win, but it could easily have been 6-7, 8-1 from the number of great chances we created, and hopefully on Wednesday against Bern, in what could get us through to the knockout stage of the Champions League for the first time in absolutely ages. Hopefully we get a nice early goal and keep on taking our chances, get 3-4 up by half time, and then we can coast it in the second half, celebrating getting into the knockout phase. Or maybe it's going to be another one of those evenings, tense and nervous right to the end. Hopefully we'll go for the comfortable win like we did against Slovan Bratislava in the first game of this cycle. Looking at the stats for the game, Celtic very much the dominant side. Possession was 66-34 for Celtic. Shots were 18 for Celtic, 5 for Kilmarnock. On targets were 7 for Celtic, 2 for Kilmarnock. Off targets were 9-2 for Celtic, so really we could have improved in that area there, put more pressure on the goalkeeper and getting shots on goal. Block shots, 2 for Celtic, 1 for Kilmarnock. Saves were down as 1 for Kasper Schmeichel and 5 for the replacement Kilmarnock goalkeeper. I think that stat should really be 2, but that's the official record is 1, though I do think it should be 2, as Kasper Schmeichel did make that save late on after the long throw into the box broke to the Kilmarnock player, and right at the start there was the fingertips tip onto the crossbar from the direct free kick. However, officially it's down as 1 for him. And corners were 4-1 in Celtic's favour, and there was no official stat via the BBC Sports site for touches in the box, as there usually would be. Finally, moving on to the player ratings. You may well have your own thoughts regarding player ratings. You may feel I've undermarked and overmarked certain players. 2 players for me were vying for man of the match, and in the end I gave man of the match to Dyson Maida based on his second half performance and that he did score the vital goal. So, looking at the stats and player ratings, going to go for 7 for Kasper Schmeichel. A couple of nice saves, nice and dominant in the goal, got the defence well organised, nice passing out and distribution from his goalkeeping position. So 7 for him, 7 for both Alistair Johnston and Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think they both defended very well. Rarely did they look under any kind of pressure or in any difficulty. Johnston did his usual, breaking into midfield and into the final third. Some nice passes and crosses, some nice link up with Kuhn and Engels, particularly on that right-hand side. Carter-Vickers looked nice and strong in defence, worked well with Austin Trusty as he usually does. And a couple of wee minor mistakes by Carter-Vickers, but nothing major. 7.5 for Austin Trusty. Great to see him given a degree of loyalty and vote of confidence from Rodgers. I think he is a much better defender all around than Scales, and so much better option, and does have a much better understanding with Carter-Vickers. Thought Trusty defended well throughout the whole game. Thought he passed well. I think his distribution is significantly better than Scales. He's also much better at dealing with having the ball under pressure and being harassed by the opposition forwards and midfielders, and he managed to distribute nicely the ball back to Carter-Vickers, to Schmeichel, out to up to Taylor, and even up the wing to Dyson Maida on a regular basis, and pushed further and further forward as Celtic got more and more into the game. And so 7.5 for him, 6.5 for Greg Taylor. Thought defensively he was rather weak, as he often is, bit of a liability in the box. Did look like Kilmarnock were starting to get a wee bit of increasing ability to attack down their right, our left, and so quite rightly Rodgers took off Taylor and put on Scales, who I thought actually did a good job for the last 10-15 minutes. Greg Taylor did well in midfield, did well in the final third, but his key central defensive abilities for me dropped him to 6.5. 8 for Cal McGregor. He was, for me, the man of the match in the first half. Scored a goal, played more attacking than usual. However, still managed to track back to help defenders, track back to help distribute the ball. And I thought in the first half especially, he linked up things nicely. Did seem to drift out of the game a wee bit later on for me, and so just an 8. 7 for both Rio Hatate and Arnie Engels. Both looked nice and threatening. Engels set up the Rio Hatate shot from 5 yards that went over the bar. Hatate some nice ball winning in midfield, some nice passing and distribution. A bit more anonymous in the second half, so wasn't too surprised that he was taken off. Rio Hatate, nice performance right through to added time. Could have scored in the first half, really should have scored in the first half, and then forced a brilliant save from the goalkeeper in the second half, and a lot more involved in the game than he was in the last couple of games Celtic have had. And I'm going 7.5 for Nicholas Kuhn, nice and busy up and down his right wing. I think he also was another player who got better in the second half, showed more pace, more attacking intent, broke into the box on several occasions, forced some goalkeeper saves, hit the bar. Should really have scored in the first half from the Kyogo pass. Should really have scored in the second half from the Ida pass, but in the end, just the assist for the Maida goal. 7 for Kyogo. I thought he looked really busy. Did a great job harassing the Kilmarnock attackers to win the ball back. A couple of very clever interceptions from stray Kilmarnock passes. Should really have scored when he had that 1-on-1. Maybe should have taken a shot at goal rather than passing to Kuhn. And he definitely is, for me, the one to start on Wednesday. Dyson Maida 8 and man of the match, based on his second half performance. Maida got more and more of a control on that left-hand side, put more and more pressure on the Kilmarnock right back. First half, he tended to have his best contributions, tracking back to help out in midfield and at left back. Second half, however, much more attacking, much more breaking into the box and nice passes and crosses. Scored the winning second goal. Could have scored a third, was it not for the fact he was offside by a few centimetres, so 8 and man of the match for him. Given 6 for Paulo Bernardo, he had the most time of all the subs to make a difference, and he didn't really make any difference. No real great passes, no real great tackles or ball winning. A bit of an anonymous 20-30 minutes from Paulo Bernardo. Other substitutes, Luke McCown didn't really have enough time, came on and added time for 2 or 3 minutes, didn't really have anything to do, and so haven't given him a rating. Given 7 for Liam Scales, I actually thought he had a great short 10-15 minutes at left back. Looked much safer than Greg Taylor defensively, got the ball out of defence nicely, and also broke into midfield and the final third, and got himself into the box also one time to support the attack, which in the end led to the disallowed Maida goal. So 7 for Liam Scales, 6.5 for Adam Ida. Led the line quite nicely, works well as a target man, and he did drive very well from his box edge all the way up to the Kilmarnock box edge to set up Kuhn, and Kuhn really should have scored to give us a comfortable 3-1 win. Ida didn't really have terribly many chances himself otherwise to score the goal. I think it would have been a bit greedy had he gone for it himself. And the correct thing to do was to pass to Kuhn, who had the best chance of scoring, as the ball was right onto his left foot in front of the goal. But unfortunately, the Kilmarnock goalkeeper outsmarted him. Looking at all the Celtic sites, sports sites, football sites, and transfer sites, no real movement on any moves in and out the club. Continuing stories to say Kieran Tierney is just about to sign for Celtic, although that's been the case for 7-10 days, and no real progression in any new left backs, left wings, midfielders, or strikers, nor any movement of any players out of the club either. But I'll keep you all up to date over the next few days, up to the end of the transfer window, a week on Monday at 11 p.m. at night. That just about finishes things off for today. Wee polite suggestion, encouragement, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do click that subscriber button. If you do have any friends, family, football fans, Celtic fans, etc., do pass on the details of the channel, see if they want to add to those subscriber numbers. That would make me so happy. If you did like the video, do click that like button. It does help with spreading the channel and also spreading Celtic to more YouTube fans. And do pop your thoughts, opinions into the comment section, be it regarding yesterday's game, the performances, my own ratings, and how you see the game on Wednesday against Bern going. And so until the next video, goodbye and hail, hail.